If you're a busy professional, business owner, or entrepreneur, perhaps you're a parent as well, or you're responsible for an older parent of your own. And on top of all that, the pressures, responsibilities, the pace of life can sometimes get on top of you, can sometimes feel too much to bear, or maybe a sense of being stuck or lost. Just going through the motions, just getting through what you need to do, not just for yourself, but everybody around you. And if you feel like you need some break, some change that is bigger than just taking a holiday, and maybe you're not sure what that is, deep transformational coaching might just offer you that space to discover what it is that you need. It's not the space that you need, but it is the space that is created, that you're held in, for you to not only find answers to your questions, but also to find the questions. A lot of us can be in different stages of our lives where we know we need a real big change in our lives, but we just don't know what that looks like, and we don't even know where to start. And on the face of everything, we could be leading something that could look like a really successful life. We've got it all. We've got the job, we've got the position, we've got the money, the house. Maybe there's a relationship or marriage, maybe you have kids. But on paper, it looks like you have nothing to complain about. You should be happy with what you have. And maybe this comes after years, maybe decades of grinding and working and doing all the things that you're supposed to do. And yet, there still feels like, there's a question that does come up. What was this all about? When is it going to feel right? When is the payoff going to come? Or is this ever going to stop? Surely it can't be all working towards retirement. So what is deep transformational coaching? Well, it's a space in which one is held in where they are. If you've heard the expression, you're met where you are, you will be met in your stuckness. You will be met where you feel lost. You will be met in the unknown. And that feels very counterintuitive. We're supposed to know where we're going, what the plan is, what our goals are. We're supposed to have it all figured out. We're supposed to be able to find the solutions. When in actual fact, being held in the space of not knowing, feeling lost, feeling stuck, is absolutely a necessary place to be, and to acknowledge that, maybe even to rest in that. There's always this intuitive or natural sense that we need to get out of this, need to figure it out, find our way, get out of the hole. When in actual fact, to give it space, and maybe even to be in that hole with someone else, and to feel what that's like. The power of that can actually be the key to the next steps. And those next steps may not come immediately, or maybe later, but being met in that place, in that feeling of frustration, maybe grief, grief of not having achieved something that feels like it was supposed to be what it all looked like. Being met there takes the energy out of it. Maybe there's sadness, maybe there's anger. Being met there, giving voice to it, feeling it, takes the energy out of it. And it's one thing that we know in coaching and different types of therapy and counseling. When we give space to what we're feeling, and what I mean by that is to give space to it, to feel it, without trying to get away from it, or be frustrated or annoyed by it. Feel it, name it, be with it, accept it. Let it run its course. Feelings are with us for the purpose of feeling them. Emotions are energy, and they in fact have information for us. And that comes in the form of clarity once they've been felt, an understanding of what a situation means to us. Our emotions are telling us what our response is to something. It doesn't feel like a rational thought, but we feel the emotion and we can feel it in our body. Our bodies also feel what we're experiencing, what we're going through. And if we don't give it that space over time, over years maybe, that builds up, that energy doesn't go anywhere. And so when it comes to the point of which we begin to allow ourselves to feel, sometimes there can be years of emotions that come to the surface, and that can be scary. But that's why someone who's trained, someone who's done the work themselves and taken this journey, holds you in this space, listens to you with no judgment, no opinion, no fixing, no advice, just being with you where you are. The power of this is immense. And it is really only when you give yourself the space and time to journey inward, to explore your inner workings, do the inner work. This is where real change in your life starts from. Real transformation. It's not just doing things differently or doing new things, not doing things that you've done for a long time, but this is about your state of being, your very presence in how you turn up for yourself, how you are in yourself in any given moment in the day. And that the impact of all of this impacts how you feel physically, impacts your energy levels, clarity of thought, how we relate to one another, our relationships, our perspective on situations, how we see the world. Our inner world and the state of our inner world is reflected in our outer world experience. And this is really empowering because it's not things out there that have to change. We can do the work inside our inner world, and how we cultivate this inside and how we tend to it and nourish it. This has the direct impact on our outer world experience, to the extent that almost nothing has to change. So what does this tell us? This tells us that our outer world experience is completely and fully in our control. And what it takes is the journey and exploration inward. Ideally held by someone who is trained, has the expertise, and has done the work themselves, which is a vital piece of it. They have done the work themselves and they continue to do so. And this can open up a whole world of exploration. And this exploration, the journey, can be for a lifetime, which can sound daunting and sound too much to take in at the beginning, but it actually becomes something that once you feel the impact of it in your life, it becomes a part of your life very naturally. So step by step, we don't have to have it all figured out. And I can speak to this from my own experience. When 15 years ago, I found myself in a place in life where I had a good job. I had the freedom to be and explore the world, to live the life. I had the money, had the car, had the friends, and the life that I wanted at that stage in my life, that age. Yet I was deeply, deeply frustrated, sad, angry, and unhappy. And there was nothing external that was changing any of that. And so initially, it started with something very simple, where I was in a place of recognizing really what I needed was just to be held, and in a very human, natural way. So I went and got myself a massage. And at that time, that's all I knew of what was available for me, of what I could do for myself. And at that time, that was exactly what I needed. And in that massage, which on its own just gave me that sense of ease and deep relaxation that I couldn't achieve for myself, this practitioner asked me if I would like to try some Reiki that she was training in. And I didn't know what Reiki was. I had no idea of any sort of holistic therapies. But I just trusted her and I agreed. And much to my disappointment at the time, she just had her hands over me, not at all touching me, but that was fine. I was again able to trust. And she said something to me that has stayed with me, that has always stayed with me. She said, I don't really know what's going on with you, but I'm reading your energy, something I had never heard before. I'm reading your energy, and the only way I can describe it is like a pinball machine. And I had no idea what she was saying, except pinball machine really landed with me. That was like an acupuncture needle. I got what she meant, because that's how I felt inside. I felt like a ping pong machine. Ill at ease, not able to relax, racing thoughts, stressed out. And that was the first step in self-awareness that I took. That was just the beginning of what is to now a 15-year journey of exploring my inner world, with the view to helping me learn about myself, understand myself, heal in levels of psychological and emotional disturbance and trauma, in levels that almost everybody on this planet experiences at some stage or another. So she suggested I go to a nutritionist who had an an intuitive aspect to her work. And again, I had another very profound experience with her, which was groundbreaking for me. She suggested I go speak to somebody professionally in terms of a counselor or a therapist, which I did. And all of these steps, trusting that the next step would lead me to give me what I needed and lead me to the next step again. I began with a couple of sessions of counselling, which were an absolute milestone in my life and my journey of healing and transformation. And the rest is a journey that continues. It has brought me to deep transformational coaching. I've done a lot of work in between those counseling sessions and now, and I'll speak about those in later videos. Deep transformational coaching isn't something that was around then, and maybe it's a possibility for those who maybe don't feel like they need counseling or therapy, and that's not at all to judge any other practices and disciplines. Each has their place and actually can be used in a complementary way. But transformational coaching can be an accessible way for somebody who may not feel like there's big trauma or there's big mental health issues. And if there is, that's fine too. But specifically, if on the face of it, you feel like you may have achieved success on paper, but it doesn't feel like it, transformational coaching is a great place to explore what is happening inside, to deepen self-awareness, to learn about what's happening, to learn about what's happening, not just in yourself, but how it happens for us as human beings, what the journey is, and where it can bring us, what that can look like. The transformational journey can be mysterious and magical. I will speak about it in more detail in later videos, but for now, as an introduction to the work, an introduction to me, if you're still watching this and you feel called to explore more about what transformational coaching is and what it's like to work with me, click the link below for a connection call, or wait for later videos, or search online for other people doing this work. A lot of people really stepping forward now with the view, as I am, to helping people through the deep work of the inner journey, exploring inside, doing the inner work, learning the awakening practices, doing the healing, and what all of this can mean for people. If we all start with working on ourselves, where we're at, the impact in the outer world, not just for us, but for everybody else, will be drastically and vastly changed and transformed. And it is something that the world absolutely needs more than ever right now. So if you, on that note, want to impact the world, change the world, be a force for good in the world, begin with your own inner world. And the impact of your work is immeasurable, and the impact that has on the outer world. So thank you for viewing. If you're still with me, please click subscribe for more videos. This is just the start. There's lots more to come. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next video.